And welcome to part 2 of the Castlevania 3 Let's Play of Grant's Path, and we're up to the next level in the game. These things. Fortunately, with the axe, you can easily chuck them and kill them easily. Now, these are not as annoying as they are in Castlevania 2, because you don't have the axe in that game, which is part of one of my issues with Castlevania 2. I think Castlevania 2 would have been a lot more enjoyable if it had certain sub-weapons, like the axe or the cross. Just because there's a lot more situations where it would be useful. Because in Castlevania 2 you get the dagger, I think a golden knife, a sacred flame, I don't remember, the holy water, but it barely did any damage. It was more used for just trying to find secret floors. And even then there was really no indicator that there was a secret floor. You just had to use it in random spots and then you got it. Meh. I don't think Castlevania 2 is awful, I just don't care for it. Anyway, here's a secret you may or may not have known about. I think Grant is the only one that can actually get this. Maybe Alucard could if you used his bat form. But here's a secret meat. I don't even know why you would need this, because right at the beginning of the level, you shouldn't have taken any damage at this point, so why is it there? I honestly don't know. You know why? You know, tell me in the comments. I'll read it. I've never actually bothered to take that bottom path. I don't think there's anything worthwhile down there anyway, because you have to wait so long for the acid to drain the blocks, so I don't really see the point. Anyway, just remember those spikes are instant death if you touch them, so don't jump up. You can jump there, because there's no spikes. But fortunately, the slimes we have to deal with aren't nearly as annoying as they are in Castlevania 2. But other than that, yeah, this level's pretty much the same as we tackled last time, just using Grant to make this somewhat different, because I've already shown this level before. We will be getting into new levels, don't worry. There's only a couple of them, but I figure they're worth showing off at the very least. And this playthrough does let me actually utilize Grant to some degree, even if he's my least favorite of the partners. I actually really like this background, if I can talk about this for a little bit. There's one thing Castlevania 3 does really well. I think Castlevania 1 did it pretty well, to an extent, but Castlevania 3 really does a good job with it, which is making the backgrounds look distinct and colorful, and even though this is a game that relies on a dark gothic motif, which is actually pretty impressive, because usually when people think of like a dark gothic art style, they don't really think of lots of color. But that's never really been the case with Castlevania, except for Castlevania 2, but that's another flaw of that game. Maybe if I ever get to that game, I'll talk more on that. But yeah, even despite the gothic setting that Castlevania is known for, it still manages to use a lot of colors and make things stand out and pop. So you notice, you take in more of the environment, which is obviously a good thing, because you don't want the environment to be bland and you don't really notice anything, and you're just kind of along for the ride. It really stands out, helps the atmosphere of Castlevania be a bit more colorful. So it's like when people use the, it's sort of almost mimetic, the idea that if it's something that's dark thematically, that's never going to use a lot of interesting colors, which I don't think is true. Look at this game, but yeah. I actually think the use of backgrounds in this game is one of the best examples on the NES. I mean, if you know of a game that does it better, let me know. But I think this is one of the better ones. Anyway, same strategies before when we fought this guy with Trevor previously. Axes are your best friend. And we're almost done with him. Just one more hit. And we got him. It's easy enough. You shouldn't even get hit by him. But if you do, you know, the previous level, it actually wasn't that hard. And Alucard will attempt to join us, but we're ultimately going to refuse him, because you can only have one partner at a time. You can't, it's not like, I guess Sonic Heroes on the GameCube, where you could have 3 people at once. It doesn't quite work that way. It would be cool if you could, but no. Because otherwise, I'd probably just do the New Game Plus over and over again, just to get Alucard and Sypha and Grant all on one team. Because that actually would be a lot of fun. Someone should make a ROM hack of that one of these days. And yet another level we've already done. I believe the next level up will get a chance to do levels we haven't done yet. Don't worry. I don't believe this level's overly long. Thankfully, we have that axe, so we can deal with those icing. I don't even know what we could pick up the stopwatch that we just dropped. That's actually a random drop. That's not a fixed one. But yeah, I'm not gonna do that because I think it's useless in this game. If you have any use for the stopwatch, let me know. The only time I've ever used it in really any of the series is Castlevania 1 during the last level to get past those annoying birds in the clock tower. Yay, but yeah, that level's over with. The other time would be like Symphony of the Night when you use it to unlock that room in the clock tower. Funny how it always deals with clocks. Anyway, this is the well, there's actually a couple levels after this that we haven't seen yet. And since we haven't seen this level yet, I'm actually going to switch to Ralph or Trevor. Why did I say Ralph? That's actually his original name, but they changed it to Trevor, and I'm so used to seeing Trevor, that's what I always call him. Now, don't jump there unless you're a dipshit, because that will get you killed. I actually did that once by accident the first time I ever played this level, so don't feel too bad if you did it once. Just don't do it ever again. I don't get what one of those falling blocks are there, because you can easily ignore it. Anyway, we have this thing. I don't get the point of making you fight this guy again. Because he can't, especially with those stairs there, he can't climb up, so just triple holy water and he's dead. I mean, he does throw those bones, but that's the only thing that differentiates him from the level 1 boss. So, I guess they felt it necessary to put that there, but I don't really see why. And now we finally move on to Dracula's Castle, and this is the level we actually haven't seen yet, too. Now this level, I actually really like this level. It is somewhat lengthy, but I still like it a lot, especially this music. It has kind of a tense factor going for it without, you know, being too... It's really that thick bass. It's not like it's a particularly fast track, but the tenseness of the bass really makes it seem cool. It almost sounds like some kind of song you'd hear in, like, a legal thriller. Hell, I could actually imagine this in Ace Attorney game, now that I think about it. Anyway, wait for the platform. I'm sure Alucard, you could just, like, fly right past all of this. I do love the way that the blue background looks against everything else in there. It looks pretty cool. Again, it makes things stand out, which is what Castlevania 3 like. Look at it, instead of just having a completely black background, which would look really bland and dull, it manages to carry some interesting shades of blue against it. So I think it definitely helps in making the game seem less monotonous. And I just used Grant to skip past all of them because I didn't feel like dealing with it. Anyway, I'm gonna switch to Trevor because, well, I didn't want to get hit. Yeah, nothing there. I always whip all these just to make sure. Because I'm always convinced that there's always something there that I just, for whatever reason, didn't find last time. Because you know Dracula always puts meat in these walls in the most unexpected of places. Now be careful, because you need to duck in order to get past this wall here, because it will push you against it and you will die because of falling into the pit. Other than that, this really isn't hard. I still like this level a lot, but though I'd rather play Aquarius instead. But I think that's just a cooler looking level. For whatever reason, every time I try to jump from that platform, I end up getting killed. I don't know why, so don't. Ah, there's the meat. Like I said, it always puts it in the weirdest places. I don't know why. Well, I guess it's better than putting it in the most expected and straightforward places. Because then that would make everything too easy. And we have a reenactment of the Frankenstein boss from before, but it's... I don't really know what to make of this, really, because it feels like a repeat of it. I mean, granted, if you've gone on this path, you won't have fought Frankenstein, which is on Cypher's path, normally, but this just feels like it's a more reenactment of that boss fight. And plus, this made me realize he only seems to make the whole ground shake with those blocks when he gets hit. Keep that in mind. Anyway, that's the end of that level. And the end of the part. See you guys next time for Let's Play Castlevania 3.